Hey YouTube, welcome to another episode of Full Spectrum Survival and this week's Mailbox Monday, where we're answering your questions about survival and preparedness each week for the summer. Alexa asks, there have been a lot of earth changes lately, from earthquakes to strong storms and tornadoes. You name it, there are things that are leaving a lot of people homeless. What would you suggest I do to prepare for continued changes? We have seen a lot of natural disasters this year, in some cases worse than in recent years, with many of them leaving the affected homeless or unable to go home. This brings up a unique point in that many people, even if they had been prepared or had created emergency bags, they were likely unable to retrieve them quick enough, such as with the earthquake yesterday where residents were forced to rush outside with only themselves, or unable to get home to retrieve their supplies like in Canada's recent flooding or California's wildfires where authorities forced the evacuation under threat of arrest. In these cases, and in many others, the question underlines the importance to think beyond our homes for preparedness. The adage that 2 is 1 and 1 is none is just as important here as it is in the field. To prepare for these types of situations, it is important to have a plan to stay away from home during a disaster. Yesterday's earthquake in China destroyed the homes of a number of residents, and the same thing can happen here to us. Wildfires, tornadoes, earthquakes, and any number of natural disasters can leave us without a home before we've had time to collect our emergency supplies. So to help, planning for emergency evacuations or unplanned forced evacuations involves scenario planning. Do you have a friend or family member outside of your immediate city that you can stay with during a disaster? If not, plan to have enough fuel and money to get to a campsite or a hotel outside of the evacuation zone. And what you'll bring with is another important question. Redundancy plays a key role in preparedness planning, but it can be costly. So having items of varying cost without reducing functionality is an important step. One of your bags or supply boxes may have your best gear in it, but having additional gear that you can count on to work with in a redundant pack is just as important. Having an emergency bag or box with the core necessities for survival, either in your trunk or at the person's home where you plan to evacuate to, will allow you to make a sure decision to leave without worrying that you won't have the physical supplies that you need or your family needs to survive a disaster. Well guys, that is just a quick tip for remaining prepared in a natural disaster. There of course is a lot more to be said on the subject, from core skills to why you may want to stay out of a shelter. Please comment if you have any plans that would help Alexa or the community, and as always, we'll see you guys here next week for another Mailbox Monday.